So today I'm going back to the basics to show you how to export an image sequence from Maya. So that's when you want to export an animation, and here I do have an animation. Let me just make it a little shorter here. Okay, so as you can see, the mushrooms all grow. So to export frames 0 to 106, I need to first open up my display render settings here. So once you click that, you'll see you've got a lot of information. The image format is something you want to look at first. Here we have EXR, and that is how I want to export it because I want to export it with transparency, and also this is a not a large file, and I don't want a very large file, but you can also export with PNG, JPEG, TIFF if you're looking for something bigger. And you'll notice you can't export like a movie file, so you have to do the image sequence. And honestly, it's not a bad thing. Image sequences, when you get used to them, are really useful, especially when compositing and stuff. So if we go down, you want to make sure you've got a good naming convention. So if you were just rendering out one single frame, either of these would work. But since we're doing a sequence, we need a convention like this, and I think that'll be good. I'm giving myself some frame padding. This is more padding than I need for digits, but whatever, I keep it at 4. And then my start frame will be 0 because that's when my animation begins, and my end frame is 106. But if your start frame is 40, you would put 40 there, and of course you would just change it to whatever your animation is on. So make sure the right cameras are renderable. For this one, I just need perspective 1. So I'm going to just switch that up. That's the one I want to render. You'll have other cameras here listed, but got to make sure yours is on there. Image size is important, obviously. This one is a vertical image. This is correct. The width for mine is 1080 by 1920. A lot of you will be rendering the reverse, so you'll do 1920 by 1080. The resolution is fine for me here, and everything else is pretty good. I don't need to look at the rest. One side note, if you go to Arnold Renderer, that tab right there, you might want to change your settings. This will just make the images better quality. So anti-aliasing, that's what camera AA is. That I like to bump up to at least 3 and diffuse 3. I don't really have any specularity here, so I don't need to bump those up because I'm not really using these. So there's no transmission happening with my textures, but anti-aliasing will help, and I do have diffuse maps. So if you bump them up too high, that will take longer to render. So it's kind of a give and take there. So once you have all these settings as what you want, you just exit out of there, and then you need to go to your rendering viewport. So some of you might be on modeling or animation. We're going to switch it to rendering, and then you go all the way to the top where it says render, click that, and then go down to render sequence, but don't click it just yet. Go to this little box on the right, click that, and now it'll give you your render options. You want to make sure that same camera that you selected before is selected here. So perspective 1 for me, and then you need to choose your output location. So I tend to make lots of render folders, so I like to have a new one for each render. That way I can keep track. Yep. And then I'd select that, and then you would just click render sequence, and it'll take a while. I'm probably not going to put you through that, but just know that it works, and I'll just, for an example, click it here, and we'll go over to my images, and you can see that they will begin to render. Yep. So as we wait, more and more will appear, and this would take, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, maybe less, for these to render. So depending on the size of your images, the time can vary depending on your computer. But thank you guys for watching this. If you found this helpful, let me know, and I'll continue to make tutorials like this one.